everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genser. I'm going to be your show host for you today. We have a very exciting show for you guys. We're going to be covering the Las Vegas Aces groundbreaking sponsorship that is currently under investigation, Lynn Williams securing her 79th lead goal, those that already qualified for the U.S. team for the Paris Olympics, the Rabat Marrakech Diamond League meets, and make sure you guys stay to the end to hear about the CrossFit Games Week 1 semifinals. Before we begin, I wanted to ask you guys like and follow the show, and to become a part of our show, to use the link gsmcpodcast.net to tip and donate. Also, we do get a lot of questions that come in during the show, so to ensure that your questions get read on the air, I ask that you use the link it puts your questions at the top of the list so that I see them, and of course, it really helps the show. Once again, the link is gsmcpodcast.net. Now, I think it's time to get started. I hope you guys enjoy today's content. Okay, so first up, we're gonna dive right into the WNBA investigating the Las Vegas Aces groundbreaking sponsorship. So the Las Vegas Aces, a dominant force in the WNBA, find themselves under the scrutiny of the league after each player on the roster was offered a staggering $100,000 sponsorship deal. Let's unpack the story, its implications, and what it could mean for the future of the league. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, also known as LVCVA, announced a major sponsorship agreement directly offering each player of the Las Vegas Aces a 2-year deal worth $100,000. This announcement was made through a vibrant social media video featuring the Tourism Authority's president, Steve Hill, who emphasized the simplicity and potential benefits of the deal. In the video, Steve Hill is seen telling the players to keep representing Las Vegas and hinted at a 3-peat championship being the icing on the cake. This move by the LVCVA includes promotional commitments and gear designed to showcase the spirit of Las Vegas. Details from the Las Vegas Review-Journal reveal that each player signed a contract committing to various promotional activities for the city. These contracts were negotiated directly with the players' agents, strategically bypassing the WNBA team to avoid salary cap violations, as these deals are separate from their WNBA contracts. The WNBA has opened an investigation into these sponsorships, focusing on whether these deals maintain the integrity of the league's salary cap. While technically separate from team salaries, there is concern that such substantial external compensation could distort player decisions, potentially giving the Aces a competitive edge in recruitment and retention. Interestingly, these deals are structured similarly to NIL, name, image, and likeness, deals common in college sports, which raises questions about their fit and fairness in a professional setting. Aces forward Kirsten Bell told her TikTok followers Sunday that players have yet to receive the funds. Bell said on her live stream, quote, "If you think I have $100,000 right now, you don't understand how this works." And then an LVCVA spokesperson told the Review-Journal on Monday that details still need to be ironed with each player and their agents. Once negotiations conclude, the organization might even make an occasion of it. The spokesperson also said, quote, "The players' agents have agreed, the players have agreed. We are going through the formalities and possible ceremonial event of contract signing." LVCVA President and CEO Steve Hill and members of the board surprised Aces players in the locker room at Mike Kalab Ultra Arena on Friday. The scene was captured in a video that was later posted on X, or formerly known as Twitter. Hill told the players all that they have to do to receive the funds is play basketball and represent Las Vegas like they've already been doing. He told the Review-Journal on Friday that players had signed contracts that included the requirement to, quote, "reach mutually agreeable opportunities for appearances on the city's behalf." The aforementioned wording is included in the letters of intent the LVCVA provided to each player's agent, Hill confirmed Monday. The LVCVA feels the details shouldn't present a roadblock, and the LVCVA spokesperson also said, The players' agents were approached and sponsorship agreements have been offered. The next step is to work with each agent on specifics and signing. An LOI was presented to each agent which each agent agreed to. Each LOI had a couple of deliverables that will now be finalized with each agent. That part of the agreements determines specific marketing deliverables like image use, appearances, and other ways of representing the Vegas brand. The WNBA has declined to disclose the scope of its investigation, but Hill's comments in the LVCVA's announcements video could have been what triggered the league's probe. The WNBA's collective bargaining agreement prohibits third parties from paying players for basketball services. The league also needs to make sure the Aces were not involved in the offers or negotiations. Coach Becky Hammon said Saturday she and the team had nothing to do with the sponsorship, and Hill said Saturday the LVCVA went about things the right way. The LVCVA spokesperson also said, "What Steve said in the locker room was a general summary of what is really a simple marketing program. None of the details yet to be signed will impede that from happening." The LVCVA's marketing team pitched the sponsorships just a week prior to the eventual announcement. Hill expects to yield a high return on the organization's $1.2 million investment. He said he felt the timing of the announcement was important. Hill said he wanted the announcement to come after the Aces ring and banner raising ceremony on May 14th, but before Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever's visit to Las Vegas on May 25th in order to, quote, capitalize on the national broadcast and in-game commentary. The financial figures are eye-opening. The $1.2 million total of these deals almost matches the WNBA's team salary cap of $1.4 million. For some players, this deal doubles what they earn annually, highlighting the evolving landscape of athlete endorsements. We also see disparities within the team. Stars like Asia Wilson and Kelsey Plum earn around $200,000, whereas newcomers like Daisha Fairs and Kate Martin earn significantly less. These sponsorship deals could reshape financial expectations and team dynamics across the league. First, the sponsorship deal represents a progressive shift in how female athletes are compensated and recognized. It's a win for player empowerment, offering financial awards that reflect their contribution to the sport in their communities. This could set a precedent for other teams and leagues pushing for better compensation for female athletes globally. However, while the intent behind the sponsorship is commendable, executing such deals could undermine ultimately the integrity of the WNBA salary cap. These agreements, though not technically salary, could function as a loophole or somewhat of a loophole, giving wealthier teams and cities an unfair advantage in attracting and retaining talent. It's sort of a slippery slope that might lead to increased disparities within the league. Moreover, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority is displaying creative marketing genius. By aligning with the Aces, they are not only supporting the local team, but also enhancing Las Vegas's image as a vibrant, supportive community for women's sports. It's a strategic move that boosts both the cities and the team's brand, creating a win-win scenario. However, this deal could disrupt the market for how sports teams and cities interact with athletes. If other cities and sponsors follow suit, we could see a significant shift in how teams across all sports approach funding the players' salaries. This could lead to a new era where sponsorships play a more prominent role in sports economics, which has its benefits and its detriments in its own. Additionally, there is a risk that such high-profile deals could widen the gap between top earners and lower-paid players within the same league. This could exacerbate wage inequality, making it difficult for smaller teams or less commercially attractive markets to compete, potentially destabilizing the competitive balance within the league. Overall, this sponsorship is a major step forward in boosting the profile and commercial viability of women's sports. It not only highlights the players' worth, but also demonstrates the marketability of women's leagues to other potential sponsors and investors, potentially leading to increased viewership and fan engagement. The investigation by the WNBA is a necessary step, in my opinion, to ensure fair play and compliance within the league. It maintains the integrity of the salary cap, which is crucial for competitive balance. This scrutiny, though, helps prevent potential exploitation of loopholes that could create unequal playing fields, ensuring that no team gains an undue advantage. If one team can offer significantly more money to its players through external sponsorships, it might give them an unfair advantage in attracting and retaining top talent, like I said. The investigation seeks to ensure that all teams have a fair chance to compete, really. However, at the same time, this investigation might seem overly cautious and sort of potentially stifling to innovative approaches to player compensation in a way. In a landscape where women's sports are often underfunded, and we've seen that, we've gone over how much the WNBA players make, this sponsorship model could provide a new revenue stream. The league should perhaps focus more on adapting its regulations to modern realities rather than curbing such initiatives. The WNBA's investigation into the Aces sponsorship deal reflects the growing pains of a developing league. As the WNBA expands in popularity and financial influence, it will face new challenges like this. The investigation is part of the league's evolution, learning how to handle increased commercial interest while maintaining a level playing field. While intended to protect the league's integrity, the investigation could undermine player morale and public perception. Players might feel penalized for securing legitimate financial opportunities, which could disrupt relationships between athletes and league management. This could also make players cautious of seeking similar deals in the future. The investigation will serve as a critical test case for how similar endorsements might be handled in the future. It will set a precedent for what is permissible and what crosses the lines in terms of sponsorship deals, shaping the economic landscape of the WNBA and potentially other professional sports leagues as well. As the story unfolds, it will be interesting to see how the WNBA navigates these new waters of athlete sponsorships. Will other teams and cities follow suit? And what will be the long-term impact on the sport? So we're now going to switch into our next segment where we're going to talk about soccer. We are going to talk about how Lynn Williams broke the NWSL goal-scoring record in the Gotham win, and at the end of the segment, we will touch on Brazil hosting the Women's World Cup and its significance. Before we begin, we are going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. Some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back, everybody. So we just got done talking about the WNBA examining Las Vegas Aces groundbreaking sponsorships, and now we're going to talk about the latest women's soccer news. Before we get into everything, though, I just wanted to remind you guys to like and follow the show, and you can become a part of our show by tipping and donating. Your support means a lot to us. Also, we do get a number of questions, so to make sure your questions get read on the air and at the top of the list, use the link gsmcpodcast.net. Your support means a lot to us. We do really appreciate it, and it makes a huge difference. Now that we got that out of the way, we are going to start talking about Lynn Williams and all of the recent women's soccer news. A random thought, but I feel like the NWSL doesn't get much attention until the Women's World Cup and FIFA comes around. I feel like suddenly everyone is just like a huge soccer fan out of nowhere. I love it. I love that everyone's a huge soccer fan out of nowhere, but I don't know. I will say I think that the NWSL does need more recognition. They do get their news out there, but you know. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so on Sunday night, Lynn Williams scored her 79th league goal, becoming the National Women's Soccer League all-time scoring leading as Gotham FC earned a last-minute 2-1 win against the Chicago Red Stars at the Red Bull Arena. Williams started to score her record-breaking goal a few times in the first half, which was very, very interesting. She snuck a chance through Chicago's back line in the 5th minute, but the Red Stars cleared it away. In the 18th minute, she had to settle for a corner after her breakaway run was snuffed out. And in the 45th minute, her shot attempt went over the crossbar. In the 57th minute, Jenna Nywanger crossed the bar to Esther Gonzalez at the far post. The forward volleyed it back across the goal for Williams, who headed in a record-setting goal and gave Gotham the lead. Williams now has surpassed Sam Kerr's record across all competitions. The Red Stars equalized in the 74th minute when Penelope Hawking pounced on a loose ball off of a free kick, scoring for the 3rd game in a row. Ella Stevens headed in a 90th minute corner kick to help Gotham extend their unbeaten streak to 5 games. Rose Laville, who missed the first 4 matches with a leg injury, started for the first time since signing with Gotham in the offseason and played 61 minutes. It was great to see her out there, and she obviously played a lot of minutes for her first time out there. While all this was going on, Barbara Banda scored 2 goals as the Orlando Pride defeated the Seattle Reign 3-2 at Lumen Field, putting them at the top of the league to close out the weekend. The Pride remain undefeated and have won 7 straight games, tying an NWSL record set by the Reign in 2014. The Pride and the Kansas City Current are the lone 2 undefeated teams in the league this season. Emily Sams opened the scoring for the Pride in the 9th minute, where scoring her first professional goal from the top of the box. Banda headed an Adriana's cross 10 minutes later, doubling Orlando's lead. Angharad James Turner's shot was deflected into the upper right corner just before the halftime whistle, putting Seattle on the board. Just a few minutes into the second half, Bethany Balser equalized for the Reign. Jess Fisloss sent a pass over the top, which Balser ran onto and finished into the left corner for her 4th kick for her first goal of the year. A Pride corner kick in the 58th minute bounced once in the box before Banda volleyed in her 2nd goal of the match. Banda now has 6 goals and her 2 assists in just 5 NWSL starts. Balser received a 2nd yellow card in the 83rd minute and will miss the Reign's next game, unfortunately. I just wanted to cover that game as well, just very quickly. And I also just really want to quickly go over the rankings for the NWSL teams right now and how they all stand. Ranked first is the Orlando Pride. They won 7 games and tied their other 3 games. Like I said, they are undefeated. They haven't lost a game. Okay, they're not undefeated, but they haven't lost a game yet. At second is the Kansas City Current with 6 wins and 4 draws. So they're not undefeated, but they haven't lost a game yet. At third is Washington Spirit with 7 wins and 3 losses. At fourth is Portland Thorns FC with 6 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. At fifth is the Chicago Red Stars with 5 wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses. At sixth is the North Carolina Courage with 5 wins and 5 losses. At seventh is Gotham FC, which we were just talking about, and they have 4 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. At eighth is the San Diego Wave FC with 3 wins, 2 draws, and 4 losses. At ninth is Angel City FC with 3 wins, 1 draw, and 5 losses. At 10th is the Racing Louisville FC with 1 win, 6 draws, and 2 losses. And then at 11th is the Bay FC with 3 wins and 7 losses. At 12th is the Houston Dash with 2 wins, 3 draws, and 5 losses. At 13th is the Seattle Reign FC with 2 wins, 1 draw, and 7 losses. And lastly, at 14th is the Utah Royals FC with 1 win, 1 draw, and 8 losses. So no offense, but the Utah Royals and Seattle Reign are not doing so great this year. We'll see how they continue to do. It'll be interesting if they make a comeback. But back to Lynn Williams, scoring her 79th league goal and becoming the National Women's Soccer League's all-time leading scorer is a significant milestone for her as an individual player and for her team. Surpassing Sam Kerr's record places Williams now at the top of the league's history in terms of goals scored. This not only highlights her consistent performance over the years, but also solidifies her place as one of the most influential players in NWSL history. For herself as an individual player, this achievement is a testament to her skill, perseverance, and dedication to the sport. Scoring 79 goals in a professional league is no small feat and speaks volumes about her ability as a forward. This milestone could potentially enhance her reputation and influence within the sport. For her club, Gotham FC, Williams' achievement brings a spotlight and elevates the team's profile in the league and amongst fans. Such moments can boost team morale and fan engagement, contributing positively to the club's atmosphere and commercial opportunities. Also, the club is currently standing in 7th place, but I have a lot of hope and faith that Gotham FC will be able to obtain a lot more wins in the remaining season with, an influential player like Williams. Recognizing Williams as this amazing goal scorer for sure will help the team, and I'm optimistic about the team's potential success in the upcoming games. Before we head to our next segment, I wanted to touch on one last thing in the world of women's soccer. So I filmed a YouTube short on this topic, and I recommend that you check that out on our YouTube shorts if you have not done so. We also give a lot of little updates and quick information on the world of sports, so you should go check out our YouTube shorts. Anyway, Brazil was picked by FIFA to host soccer's 2027 Women's World Cup, a first for South America, and this is very significant in many ways. The FIFA Congress last Friday voted 119-78 for Brazil in the reduced field of 2 candidates to host the 2027 tournament after a joint bid by the US and Mexico was pulled late last month, and South Africa withdrew its candidacy in November. 14-year-old I just lost my train of thought for a second. Anyway, okay, what I just said was South Africa withdrew. Okay, I'm sorry, I just completely anyway, my brain just turned off for a minute. Anyway, this is very significant. It will be the very first time the Global Women's Tournament, first played in 1991, is staged in South America. Brazil was strongly favored to win since October when FIFA brokered deals for the Men's World Cups of 2030 and 2034. It left South American neighbors Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay getting just one game each of the 104 in the 2030 tournament that will mostly be co-hosted by Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. A key point for FIFA was clearing the way for its close ally, Saudi Arabia, to get the 2034 World Cup uncontested in a fast-track process. South American soccer bodies, CONMEBOL's or CONMEBOL's agreement to take a small part of the 2030 tournament removed it from the subsequent bidding. The U.S.-Mexico decision to opt out and focus on bidding for the 2031 World Cup, that decision is due next year, was another indicator of Brazil's expected to win. The Brazilian bid team hugged and celebrated on the podium after the result was announced and described it as a victory for women's soccer, for their country, and for South America. It's really a huge moment in history. Brazil is a country that is deep-rooted passion for soccer, yet historically this passion has predominantly centered on men's soccer, as we know. Hosting the Women's World Cup could accelerate the development and popularity of women's soccer in Brazil, providing a platform for showcasing local talent and inspiring a new generation of female players. Also, Brazil hosting the tournament can help challenge and potentially change long-standing gender stereotypes in sports within the country. It offers a unique opportunity to promote gender equality in sports and beyond, which reinforces the message that women's sports are just as competitive and deserving of support as men's sports. To add, hosting a global event like the Women's World Cup can bring significant economic benefits to Brazil, including boosts from tourism, investments in infrastructure, and global media exposure. These benefits can have long-lasting impacts on local economies and can help enhance the country's image internationally. Ultimately, by hosting the World Cup, Brazil can solidify its reputation as a country that supports and invests in women's sports, enhancing its status on the international stage. This could lead to further opportunities to host other international competitions and events, and it will be interesting to see if that continues to happen. Brazil Soccer Federation President Arnaldo Rodrigues said before reflecting on recent flooding that has devastated parts of the country, he said, quote, We are a South American country that achieved the victory for women's soccer. After the things that impact all Brazilians, a catastrophe due to the climate change, our achievement today, the first Women's World Cup in South America, will help strengthen us. So we're now going to dive into our next segment where we talk about some of the U.S. athletes who have already qualified for the 2024 Paris Olympics. Before we get into that, we are going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube, absolutely free.
Welcome back, everybody. We just got done talking about Lynn Williams scoring her 79th league goal, which is a very big historic NWSL scoring record, and we also went over some other women's soccer news. We're now going to dive into our next segment where we talk about who has already qualified for Team USA in the Olympics. I am so excited that the Olympics are really coming up soon. All of these competitions, trials, everything have been so exciting to watch and, talk about. So Olympics is the best time of the year, best season ever out there. Anyway, so the U.S. Olympic team roster for the 2024 Paris Games will ultimately include more than 500 athletes. And the notable team selection events, I'm just gonna say them out loud real quickly. Swimming trials will be held June 15th to the 23rd in Indianapolis. Diving trials will be held June 16th to the 23rd in Knoxville, Tennessee. Track and field trials will be held on June 21st to the 30th in Eugene, Oregon. And lastly, the gymnastics trial will be held on June 27th to the 30th in Minneapolis. Wow, Minneapolis. Wait, now I like Minneapolis. Do you know when you say something and you're like, that's not, now I don't remember how to pronounce Minneapolis. You know what, that's close enough. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I forget how to pronounce words. Moving on, we're gonna talk about the women that already qualified for the U.S. team in certain sports. And we're gonna start with talking about archery. Archery is one of those sports that don't get much attention in the Olympics, unfortunately. So it's very exciting to talk about all of this. So starting with archery, oh my goodness, now I literally can't pronounce any word. Wow. Okay, starting with archery. Here are the people that qualified. We have Catalina Noriega, Cassie Kaufhold, and Jennifer Machino Fernandez. Noriega has shown remarkable consistency with her recent gold medals win at the Pan American Championship, setting a new national record. She is known for her calm demeanor and precise shooting and is expected to be a strong contender in the Paris Olympics. She tried out for the 2019 World Archery Youth Championships in Madrid, and she made both the U.S. and Mexico teams. She went with the U.S. team, saying she had a great time. The Tokyo Olympics was really a test for her since a lot of athletes quit competing in the Olympics due to COVID around that time, and Noriega and her parents felt that she should just continue as she was already standing in 5th place at that time. She trains almost every day and is really set to compete in the Olympic Games. And then Cassie Kaufhold has already made waves with her silver medal at the World Archery Championships. Hailing from a family of archers, Cassie brings a blend of youthful energy and seasoned expertise to the team. Her exceptional skills at such a young age mark her as a future star of the sport. Kaufhold represented the U.S. in archery at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Although she didn't win a medal at that time, her participation at such a young age was a significant accomplishment in itself. At the 2021 Hyundai Archery World Cup, Kaufhold and her teammates won a silver medal in the women's team recurve event. Caulfield has also competed successfully in the Pan American Championships, where she has performed exceptionally well, earning accolades and contributing to her rising profile in the sport. And then we have Jennifer Machino Fernandez, and she is from Boston. Little fun fact. She's a talented archer who has represented the U.S. in international competitions. She competed in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics as well as part of the U.S. archery team. Participating in the Olympics is a significant achievement for any athlete, really, marking her as one of the top archers in the country. And she has competed in multiple national competitions, and all of that experience has really made her ready for this upcoming Olympics. And then we have badminton. In badminton, Jenny Guy, Anna Xu, Carrie Xu, and Baewon Sean are all qualified to compete for Team USA. Jenny Guy has competed in events like the World Archery World Archery competitions and the Hyundai Archery World Cup, and she's been, not archery. Oh my gosh, did I just say badminton? Wow, I'm sorry guys, my brain keeps shutting off. I was like saying that, and I was like, why am I saying archery? Okay, badminton. She's competed in many championships internationally, nationally, and badminton, and has been particularly successful in team events. Her contributions have really helped the U.S. team secure strong places in international competitions, which have highlighted her ability to perform well in team settings. Like many players, her career includes significant achievements in youth and junior competitions, and these early successes have helped her pave the way for participation at higher levels of competition. And then Annie Xu is known in the badminton community for her participation in various national and international competitions as well. And same with her sister, Carrie Xu. They both have competed in doubles events and have shown promising players in the competitive field. Then we got Baewon Sean, who is a top badminton player who competed at the BWF World Tour and has a reputation for being a formidable competitor in women's singles. Despite being born in China, Sean represents the U.S. in international competitions. Moving on to beach volleyball, Kelly Chong, Sarah Hughes, Taryn Cloth, and Kristen Noose will be competing on Team USA. I'm sorry, sometimes when I say a lot of names, it just like, my brain just like literally just freezes. Anyway, each of these athletes have made significant contributions to the sport. Chang has achieved success on the AVP Tour and internationally. Sarah Hughes is well known in the beach volleyball community for her collegiate success at the University of Southern California. Wow. Y'all, I am so sorry. University of Southern California, where she was a standout player there. Post-college, Hughes has continued to excel on the professional circuit, including the AVP Tour and international competitions, winning several tournaments and establishing herself as a top competitor. Taryn Cloth and Kristen Noose are a beach volleyball pair known for their remarkable chemistry and success on the sand. They transitioned from indoor volleyball to beach volleyball with notable success. Since teaming up, they have quickly made a name for themselves, breaking into the professional scene and achieving a record-breaking win streak on the AVP Tour. And then we're going to talk about boxing. In boxing, Jajera Gonzalez, Jennifer Lozano, and Morel McCain will be competing on Team USA. Jajera Gonzalez is recognized in the amateur boxing scene for her impressive achievements. She has won multiple national championships and has been a part of the USA boxing team for a while. Coming from a family deeply involved in boxing, her brother is Joet Gonzalez, a professional boxer. You've probably heard his name before. Jajera Gonzalez has made significant strides in her career, showing promise both nationally and internationally. Jennifer Lozano is a young and talented boxer who has been part of the USA boxing junior and youth teams. Morel McCain is known for her participation in national and international boxing events as well. She has competed in several prestigious tournaments and has a reputation for being a strong competitor. McCain has been involved in the Olympic trials and is working towards representing the U.S. in Olympic boxing, and as she is going to do, as she will be doing, is what I meant to say. Basically, overall, she has worked very hard for this moment, especially in the trials. In canoe and kayaking, cycling. Wow. My bad. I thought we were going to canoe and kayaking. Anyway, spoiler, we're going to do canoe and kayaking next. Anyway, for cycling, Chloe Dygert, Taylor Knibb, Delaney Vaughn, and Elise Willoughby are qualified to compete on the U.S. team. Dygert has excelled in both track and road cycling. She is particularly noted for her phenomenal performances in time trial events. Dygert has won multiple world championship titles in both the individual pursuit and time trial. She was also a key member of the U.S. team pursuit squad that won silver at the 2016 Rio Olympics and competed in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Known for breaking records, Dygert set a new world record in the individual pursuit at the 2020 World Track Cycling Championships. Taylor Knibb is a rising star in the world of triathlon. She specializes in Olympic and sprint distances. Knibb was part of the U.S. team that won a silver medal in the mixed relay event at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. She's one of the youngest members to qualify for this team and has already made significant impacts in her performances in the past. And then we have Delaney Vaughn, who is a BMX racer known for her competitive spirit and participation in national and international competitions. She has made her mark in the USA BMX circuit, gaining recognition for agility and speed on the track. Elise Willoughby is a seasoned BMX racer with a wealth of experience. She has consistently been at the top of her sport for several years. Willoughby represented the U.S. in multiple Olympics, securing a silver medal in the 2016 Rio Olympics. Now we're going to move on to canoe and cycling. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry, guys. We're not moving on to canoe and kayaking yet. We're moving on to fencing. Guys, I promise I'm not a mess. I don't know why I'm getting out of order and everything. I'm trying out this new slideshow thing in this software, so ignore that. Anyway, for U.S. fencing team, Anne Sebula, Maya Chamberlain, Jackie Dubervich, Margarita Gazi-Vincenti, Kat Holmes, Hadley Huzishian, Lee Kiefer, Lauren Scruggs, Tatiana Nazlimov, Magna Skurbonkovich, Elizabeth Tartakovsky, and Maya Weintraub will be competing on the team. A lot of people that have already qualified. Anne Sebula, while specific major international awards are not widely noted or given lots of media attention, she has been an important part of her collegiate fencing team, contributing to the team efforts and achievements. And then as a key member of her university's fencing team, Maya Chamberlain has helped lead her team to NCAA championship victories. Her contributions have been critical in team events, particularly in saber fencing. Then we have Doperovich, who has achieved high placements in national competitions and has been part of the U.S. team in several world championships, representing her country in the foil category. Gazi-Vincenti has participated in multiple senior world championships and European championships, making significant contributions to the women's foil category as well. Holmes is a standout in the épée category with a bronze medal from the 2018 World Fencing Championships and participation in multiple Olympic Games, including a notable presence in the Rio 2016 Olympics. Hallie Huzishian, although younger, has made her mark in youth and junior competitions, including accolades at the Junior Olympics and other national level competitions. One of the most decorated fencers on this list, Kiefer, is a four-time Olympian, having won a historic gold medal at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics in foil fencing. She's also a multiple-time Pan American champion and has several World Cup titles to her name. And then a rising star in fencing, Scruggs has won medals at Junior World Championships and has already made significant impacts in senior-level World Cup events, particularly in the foil category as well. While specific major achievements as a competitor might not be widely known for this person, Tatiana Nazlimov, she has contributed to the sport significantly still, potentially in capacities such as coaching or mentoring as well. And then Magna Skurbonowicz has been involved in fencing coaching, contributing her expertise to develop the next generation of fencers with a focus on foil fencing. So she really has all of that experience to be able to lead a team, if that makes sense. So as you can see, she's very well-diverse, versatile player and skilled. Then we have Elizabeth Tartakovsky, who has demonstrated strong performances in saber at both national and international junior competitions, including participation in World Junior Championships. Maya Weintraub, a foil fencer who has shown promise in youth and junior categories, participated in the Junior World Championships and earned national titles. Okay, and lastly, oh my goodness, where is... Guys, I'm so sorry. Guys, Guys, I'm very sorry. I forgot to add the canoe and kayaking slide. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and just lay the information out there. I'm sorry that there's no pictures. I know sometimes it's hard to follow things when there's no pictures, so I apologize. But anyway, Nevin Harrison and Evie LeFarbe will be competing on Team USA. Harrison achieved a remarkable milestone by winning the gold medal in the women's C1 200-meter race at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. She made history as the first American to win an Olympic gold medal in canoe sprint. Harrison's triumph in Tokyo was especially notable as she was only 19 years old at the time, showcasing her extraordinary talent and potential in canoe sprint at a very young age. And then Evie LeFarbe competes in both kayak and canoe slalom events, showcasing her versatility and skill across different disciplines in paddle sports. LeFarbe represented the U.S. at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, competing in both the K1 and C1 slalom events, a significant achievement given her young age at the time, and she was 17 years old during this Olympics. So both are very young, both are very insanely impressive. I apologize once again for not having a slide or any pictures shown for that one. Once again, I'm testing out a new software thing with this, so I apologize for all of that. I do want to say there's obviously a lot of other people who are qualified for the Olympics already, and I recommend that you tune into our show tomorrow because we're going to go over some other people that qualify for Team USA if you want to hear more about that. We're now going to move on to our next segment where we talk about the Rabat/Marrakech Diamond League meet. But before we go into that, we are going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys soon.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC. To access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Welcome back, everybody. We're now going to dive into our fourth segment. We just got done talking about who's already qualified for the Team USA in the Olympics, and we're now going to get into talking about the Rabat/Marrakech Diamond League meet, track and field. So on May 19th, the Rabat/Marrakech Diamond League meet took place where world champion Sharika Jackson dominated and raced to victory in 22.82 seconds in her first 200-meter race of the season. Jackson is a 29-year-old Jamaican track and field athlete who is one of the fastest people in the world. She's a 3-time Olympic bronze medalist, Olympic Games silver medalist, 4 times World Championship silver medalist, and 3 times World Championship bronze medalist. Before this meet, the stage was set for a captivating showdown with arch rival Sha'carriRichardson, initially slated to face Jackson in Suzhou, only for Jackson to withdraw mysteriously without explanation. But the real drama really unfolded in Rabat, where Jackson placed first in the 200-meter. Notably absent from this was Sha'carriRichardson, but Jackson faced stiff competition from former world indoor champion Mashingia Kambuji. The Swiss sprinter had the chance to test her mettle against both Richardson and Jackson this season, but the results did not reflect her reputation. Kambuji, who had previously finished 5th against Richardson in Suzhou, found herself in the same position against Jackson's dominance. Ivory Coast Mabondo Cone proved to be a more formidable adversary, clinching the runner-up spot with a time of 22.96 seconds, just 0.14 seconds behind Jackson's. Not even a full second, 0.14 seconds. That's insane. As of now, Sharika Jackson stands well ahead compared to her American competitor, Sha'carriRichardson, in the 200-meter event. In the Shaman Diamond League meet, Richardson clocked a time of 22.99 seconds, and in the Suzhou Diamond League meet, she clocked a time of 23.11 seconds. Richardson and Jackson have always been rivals going head-to-head in track and field meets. In the Budapest World Athletic Championships last year, Sha'carriRichardson defeated Sharika Jackson in the 100-meter race by a margin of 0.07 seconds, so they're literally like neck and neck. But 4 days later, Jackson settled the score in the 200-meter event with a championship record of 21.45 seconds, humbling Richardson at this point. Later in the year, Richardson tried to put her best foot forward in the 100-meter event in the Prefontaine Classic, but Jackson toppled her again. So as you can see, they've been going like back and forth. Going back to the Sunday's 200-meter race, we're going to go over the final times and places of everyone, of the top 8 competitors. So we went over Sharika Jackson and Ivory Coast Mabando Cone already. So in third, Helene Perissot from France with a time of 23.02 seconds was third. And then in fourth was Kasja Chandler from the US with a time of 23.06 seconds. In fifth was Mashinya Kambuji from Switzerland with a time of 23.14 seconds, and we did go over her. And sixth was Ida Karatov from Denmark with a time of 23.40 seconds. And seventh was Dalia Kadari from Italy with a time of 23.48 seconds. And lastly, in eighth was Sarah El Hachimi from Morocco with a time of 24.21 seconds. So let's also talk about the 400-meter hurdles. I love watching hurdles. I think it's so insane how they can run that fast and then jump over like a huge hurdle. Like, I don't know. That's like so insane. I could never. So for the 400-meter hurdles, Rochelle Clayton from Jamaica finished first with a time of 53.98 seconds. Cheyenne Salmon from Jamaica placed second with a time of 54.27 seconds. Anna Raiskova from Ukraine placed third with a time of 55.09 seconds. Zeni Gilden-Hayes from South Africa finished fourth with a time of 55.28 seconds. Genevieve Russell from Jamaica finished fifth with a time of 55.74 seconds. Vivi Laihikkonen from Finland placed sixth with a time of 55.81 seconds. Nora Enadai from Morocco placed seventh with a time of 56.15 seconds. And lastly, Jessie Knight from Great Britain finished in eighth place with a time of 56.71 seconds. And then we're also going to go over the 800-meter race, the 5,000-meter race, and the shot put as well. So in the 800-meter race, South Africa's Prudence Sekhostiso achieved her first ever victory in the Wanda Diamond League meeting with a time of 1 minute and 57.26 seconds. Sekhostiso had been undefeated so far this year on home turf, but this was the 22-year-old's first international race of the season, and she duly raised her game. Olympic finalist Habitam Alumu of Ethiopia led through the first lap in 57.07 seconds, but Sekhostiso timed her finish to perfection to emerge victorious with her second PB of the year, or personal best, taking 0.79 seconds off the mark where she set in Pretoria in March. Alumu was second in 1 minute and 57.70 seconds at the end, and Noelle Yariga was further back in third with 1 minute and 59.96 seconds. For the rest of the places, Gabriela Gahanova from Slovakia placed fourth with a time of 2 minutes and 0.3 seconds. Then was Aloysia Coro from Italy at 2 minutes and 0.35 seconds. Then Rachel Pillow from Switzerland was at 2 minutes and 0.95 seconds. Then Anita Horbit from Slovenia at 2 minutes and 1.38 seconds. Finishing in eighth place was Azia Riziki with 2 minutes and 1.40 seconds. I just might want to take a look at how close fourth and fifth place were. They're literally on top of each other, and the same goes for seventh and eighth place. I think it's insane how close competition can get, and like, it's so difficult to see who actually won when people are so close on top of each other. And you know, it's insane that the competition can that close, especially in a race that is more of the long distance one, like the 800 meter. Moving on to the 5,000 meter or 50-100, however people want to say it. I've always called it the 5,000 meter. Medina Isa from Ethiopia placed first with a time of 14 minutes and 34.16 seconds. Fortyen Tefsve, also from Ethiopia, placed second with a time of 14 minutes and 34.21 seconds. And third was Adina Jibitok from Kenya, clocking a time of 14 minutes and 35.64 seconds. And fourth was Melknat Wudu from Ethiopia with a time of 14 minutes and 39.79 seconds. Lakina Amiba, also from Ethiopia, finished in 5th place with a time of 14 minutes and 44.06 seconds. Maureen Koster from the Netherlands placed 6th with a time of 14 minutes and 50.74 seconds. And 7th was Nadia Badacletti from Italy, clocking a time of 15 minutes and 2.69 seconds. And lastly, in 8th place was Gila Hambis from Ethiopia with a time of 15 minutes and 6.24 seconds. Now moving on to shot put, which is going to get interesting because the competition is always so close. I feel like in terms of like the meters, and you'll see in these results. American Chase Jackson, the 2-time reigning world shot put champion, earned a 2nd consecutive Diamond League victory by throwing 20.0 meters. Only world silver medalist Sarah Midden from Canada has thrown farther this outdoor season, but as you see, she was not as close to the first place. Yamisi Ogunlai from Germany placed 2nd with 19.40 meters. Sarah Midden, like we just talked about, from Canada placed 3rd with 19.36 meters. Danielle Thomas Todd from Jamaica placed 4th with 18.54 meters. Maggie Ewan from the US placed 5th with 18.37 meters. Adelaide Aquila from the US placed 6th with 18.13 meters. Jessica Schildet from the Netherlands placed 7th with 18.11 meters. And lastly, Jessica Woodard placed 8th with 17.91 meters. The next Diamond League meet will take place on May 25th in Eugene, Oregon, and I'm looking forward to the fierce competition we have coming up. Definitely going to be talking about that. So now also regarding track and field, we're going to be talking about Courtney Fredericks because there is some sad news about her that I just wanted to cover. Our Tokyo Olympic 3,000 meter steeplechase silver medalist Courtney Fredericks will miss the Olympic trials and the Paris Games after undergoing season-ending right knee surgery last Wednesday. She posted on her social media, quote, "Last month, 2 days before what was supposed to be my first race of the outdoor season, we were practicing water jumps with my knee hyperextended in the water pit, resulting in a complete tear of my ACL and tears in both my medial and lateral meniscus. There have been many tears, and my brain has tried to make sense of all of this and what went wrong. As runners, we tend to view things systematically, but the truth is that this was a freak accident that comes with the inherent risk of being a steeplechaser combined with my hypermobile body. I'm absolutely heartbroken to be missing this season, especially being in Olympic gear, but I keep reminding myself that a single season doesn't define me any running career." Fredericks posted the best U.S. women's steeple result in Olympic history with her silver in Tokyo in 2021. The women's steeple debuted on the Olympic program in 2008. She is one of the 2 American women to win an Olympic steeple medal, along with 2016 bronze medalist Emma Coburn, who will also miss the trials and Paris Games after breaking an ankle in an April 27th race. Fredericks is also the 2017 world silver medalist and American record holder in the event. Last year, unfortunately, she withdrew before the USA Track and Field Outdoor Championships final with an ankle injury, missing a global championship for the first time since 2015. So it is really sad that she's going to be missing this year as well. 3 women will make the U.S. Olympic team for Paris in the steeple at trials from June 21st to the 30th in Eugene, Oregon. Contenders include Chrissy Gear, the 2023 U.S. champion, Courtney Wayment, the top American at the 2023 Worlds in 15th place, and Val Costian, who joined Coburn and Fredericks on the Tokyo Olympic team and placed 12th. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be taking over that position for Fredericks, but still it is really sad that there's been a lot of injuries in track and field, and it's definitely changing up the USA team, especially going right into the Olympics. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out for sure. So we're now going to move on to our next segment, our last segment, where we talk about the CrossFit Games semifinals week 1. Before we do so, we are going to be taking a short break, so I will see you guys very soon. Hello everybody, welcome back. Thank you guys for joining for the last segment. I'm really excited to go over this because I love talking about CrossFit. So we just got done talking about the Rabat/Marrakech Diamond League meet. We're now going to be talking about a recap of the CrossFit Games semifinals week 1, Asia and Europe semifinals, of course, because that is the only ones that have taken place so far and the results are finalized for that. So we're just going to get straight into it. The 2023 fittest woman on earth, Laura Harvath, proved she's still at the top of her game against a stacked field at the 2024 CrossFit Games Europe semifinal and in France. Wow, I just stuttered completely. I'm so sorry. Harvath dominated day 3 on her way to victory, finishing the day's events first, second, and second. She beat her last year's Europe semifinal champion, Poland's Gabi Magala. Third place belonged to Sweden's Emma Tall. Laura Harvath started the day 3 points ahead of Magala, and the neck-and-neck battle continued during event 4. After that, it was pretty much all Harvath. She won the final heat of event 5, an event with increasingly heavy snatches, while Magala had a costly no rep on the final 175-pound barbell and finished 4th. Fuliana was the only woman who wasn't in the top 10 heading into the day, but she managed to climb into it to earn a games invite. She finished day 2 and 13th, but thanks to her event 5 win and 2 more top 10 finishes, she climbed to 8th overall. On the other side of things was the UK's Jennifer Mearer. She started the day in 9th, but struggled on Sunday, finishing the final 3 events in 27th, 20th, and 18th. This unfortunately dropped her into 12th overall and outside the games qualification by 2 spots. Claudia Gluck and Linda Kiesman were 2 other athletes fighting on the bubble all weekend. The 2 would be game rookies starting the day in 8th and 10th respectively, and both were extremely impressive on Sunday. Kiesman didn't finish below 7th in the last 3 events, while Gluck placed 12th, 8th, and 6th. This helped Gluck move into 6th overall and Kiesman 7th. Both women officially earned their first trip to the games. Rounding out the rest of the top 10 in Europe were Corinne Freyova in 4th, Amy Kringle in 5th, and Jacqueline Dahlstrom, who hung on in 10th. Kringle will join Gluck and Kiesman as first-year Games competitors from Europe, and Dahlstrom will return to the Games for the 3rd time after failing to qualify last season. In an interview after Event 5, Norway Dahlstrom said failing to qualify last year actually helped her feel less pressure this year. Dahlstrom said, quote, "I think the main thing was that it made me realize that there was so much more to life than just CrossFit, so in some ways it takes the edge off. It's finding a balance where you're still fighting on the floor like it is everything in your life, but then still knowing that if it doesn't play out, I'm going to be okay, my people still love me." So let's just go to the people who are making it to the next round, who've qualified in the next round. In the Europe semifinals, 10 people make it out, the top 10 competitors, and then the Asia semifinals, the top 3 competitors make it out, and that is different from the men's. The men's Asia semifinals, only 2 men competitors make it out, but in the females, it is 3. I know that can get super confusing because, I mean, when I first saw that there's only 2 men competitors that make it out in the Asia semifinals, I was very confused why there was 3 people in the female competition in Asia semifinals making out. So it's different for both. I don't even know how to really explain it, but it's like a ratio thing kind of like how many competitors they need and stuff that can qualify. But anyway, we're just gonna get started into this. So in first place was Laura Harvath, like I just talked about. But here are her specific stats. In the first event, she finished 7th with a time of 22 minutes and 9.93 seconds. And the second event, she finished first with a time of 11 minutes and 24.19 seconds. For the third event, she placed 3rd with a time of 11 minutes and 22.12 seconds. For the 4th event, Harvath finished in 2nd with a time of 5 minutes and 6.04 seconds. And lastly, in the 6th event, she finished 2nd with a time of 3 minutes and 4.38 seconds. I already pretty much talked about Gabriela Magala, and she placed 2nd overall. In event 1, she finished first with a time of 21 minutes and 11 seconds. For the second event, she finished 2nd with a time of 11 minutes and 31.51 seconds. And the third event, she finished 7th with a time of 11 minutes and 51.62 seconds. In event 4, she finished 2nd with a time of 8 minutes and 35.29 seconds. For the fifth event, she placed fourth with a time of 5 minutes and 27.31 seconds. Lastly, in the sixth event, she finished 10th with a time of 3 minutes and 41.78 seconds. And third was Emma Tall, like I mentioned previously. She placed third in the first event with a time of 21 minutes and 32.50 seconds. And the second event, she finished eighth with a time of 12 minutes and 36.8 seconds. Her third and sixth events is where she really stepped up and helped her place third. She finished first in the third event with a time of 10 minutes and 42.57 seconds. And in the sixth event, she placed first with a time of 2 minutes and 48.08 seconds. For the fifth event, though, she placed 11th with a time of 6 minutes and 48.63 seconds. So just to say, the reason that I went through all the times of the first, second, and third place competitors is because I wanted to highlight how close the competition gets. It always feels like the top three in CrossFit are always so close in time, like they're just finishing one after another. And I mean, that's pretty much how it felt during this competition especially. Now moving on to fourth place, Karen Freyova placed fourth. In event 1, she finished 10th. In event 2, she finished 13th. In event 3, she finished 2nd. In event 4, she finished 5th. In event 5th, she finished 5th. And in event 6, she finished in 3rd place. Her event 3 and 6 performance was really how she made her way to 4th place. Her finishes were very good overall, but if she did a bit better in event 1 and 2, she definitely would have had more of a chance to finish in the top 3. Next, in 5th place was Amy Kringle. In the first event, she finished 2nd. In event 2, she finished 4th. In event 3, she finished 5th. In event 4, she finished 6th. In event 5, she finished 13th. And in event 6, she finished 11th. Her event 1 was really significant for her, and it helped her a lot in her final score and placing. In 6th place was Claudia Clark. She finished 23rd in the first event, 3rd in the second event, 6th in the third event, 12th in the fourth event, 8th in the fifth event, and 5th in the sixth event. The first event is where her score got dragged down the most, as you can see, being a 23rd compared to her other places. And then we have 7th place was Linda Kiesman. She finished 16th in the event 1, 12th in the event 2, 10th in event 3, 7th in event 4, and 5th event, and 6th in the 6th event. Events 4, 5, and 6 went really well for her, which is what helped her score tremendously. In 8th place was Eliza Fuliano. She placed 20th in the first event, 5th in the second event, 17th in the third event, 1st in the fourth event, and 7th in the sixth event. Her first place in the fifth event is truly remarkable because you would expect the top 5 to get a first place in one of the events, but she really just sneaked through the cracks of that one, obviously, which really helped her secure an 8th place win for her. In 9th place was Emma McCaud. She placed 13th in the first event, 7th in the second event, 8th in the third event, 21st in the fourth event, 14th in the fifth event, and 8th in the sixth event. And then lastly, in 10th place was Jacqueline Dahlstrom. She placed 6th in the first event, 9th in the second event, 12th in the third event, 22nd in the fourth event, 10th in the fifth event, and 15th in the sixth event. Everyone in the Europe semifinals did very well overall, and I am very impressed with the top 10 finishers for sure. I'm impressed with everyone, but especially the top 10 finishers. So now let's go over the Asia semifinals. First was Seher Kaya. She finished first in a lot of the events. She finished first in event 1, 3, 4, and 6. So she really secured that first place victory. In event 2, she placed 5th. In event 5, she placed 4th. Her time for event 1 was 23 minutes and 13 seconds. Her time for event 2 was 14 minutes and 21 seconds. Event 3 was 12 minutes and 18.9 seconds. Event 4 was 9 minutes and 8 seconds. Event 5 was 8 minutes and 9.9 seconds. And event 6 was 3 minutes and 42.17 seconds. And then in second place in the Asia semifinals was Song Yeon Choi. She placed 3rd in the first event with a time of 23 minutes and 57 seconds. In the second event, she finished first with a time of 11 minutes and 45 seconds. In the third event, she finished second with a time of 12 minutes and 39 seconds. She placed second in event 4 as well with a time of 9 minutes and 26 seconds. In the fifth event, she finished first with a time of 6 minutes and 2 seconds. And lastly, in event 6, she placed 8th with a time of 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Lastly, in third place was Da Won Young. She finished fourth in event 1 with a time of 24 minutes and 41.8 seconds. And the second event, she finished second with a time of 12 minutes and 59 seconds. In the third event, she finished 17th with a time of 15 minutes and 41 seconds. She finished fourth in the fourth event with a time of 9 minutes and 50 seconds. And the fifth event, she finished third with a time of 8 minutes and 6 seconds. And lastly, in the sixth event, she finished fourth with a time of 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Obviously, just looking at this, her 17th spot in event 3 was really where she got her down. She would have been more fierce competition for second and first place. Maybe not first place because, you know, first place competitor Kaya got like first in almost every event, but definitely more fierce competition for second place if she had a better score in event 3. There were also 9 teams that qualified for the next round in CrossFit Games, and we're going to talk about that in our next show, so make sure you join us at that show. It will be very interesting. That concludes our show for today. Thank you guys for tuning into the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again, and have a wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn.